Good evening. We are presenting a new module, which is again, of course, based on the National Education Policy 2020 and the National Curriculum Framework, which is currently a draft of 2023, but it's soon going to become finalized. And this time we have picked on one higher order thinking skill, which is critical thinking. So we want to take you through at least 3 to 4 episodes on what is the policy and the curriculum framework saying about how do we develop critical thinking in our classrooms at all ages. So rather than just stating what the policy is saying or what the framework is saying, Shikshangan attempts to bring its own sense and reason into also why should we be doing this at all. So do like and do subscribe to our channel if you find it meaningful, and do share forward. Also press on the bell icon for regular updates. In this episode, we are going to be speaking about cross-curricular integration. So you would have seen in our previous episodes on the National Curriculum Framework, particularly the one that we've done on the secondary stage, that interdisciplinary modules and interdisciplinary domain is mandatory. You cannot do away with that. And when we say interdisciplinary, it's the same as cross-curricular integration or a transdisciplinary integration. Now, why should we do this? Because we believe that this will lead to critical thinking as well as to problem solving. The problems of life are not solved in the way that we solve mathematics and physics problems in our classrooms. These problems that we encounter in daily lives actually need and demand and recall knowledge from various disciplines. And this is why we need to make deeper connections and have engaging learning to develop critical thinking. What are some of the advantages of cross-curricular integration? Well, it's an effective way to teach students how to transfer knowledge from one domain into another. Okay? There are structural similarities in subjects and in problems, and how do I identify those? किस तरह से मैं जिंदगी के प्रॉब्लम्स को सॉल्व करने की कोशिश करूं, हल करूं, जो कि सिर्फ गणित के प्रॉब्लम्स से नहीं सॉल्व होते हैं. And that is why cross-curricular integration is important. And actually we're very happy at Shikshangan कि दोनों नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी एंड एनसीएफ दोनों में इसका जिक्र बार बार आता है. सवाल ये है कि हम इसको डेवलप करें कैसे इन द क्लासरूम. ओके, एंड इफ वी डू दैट, इसका एक बहुत बड़ा एडवांटेज तो ये है दैट चिल्ड्रन have developed a range of interests and a range of skills. वो एक डिसिप्लिन से दूसरी डिसिप्लिन की तरफ बड़ी आसानी से क्रॉस करिकुलर कनेक्शंस पा सकते हैं. So in order to introduce this idea of the advantages of structural similarities को ढूंढना अलग अलग disciplines में, I thought today we will tell you some stories rather than going into the pedagogy of it. This is Karl very famous hypothetical problem in cognitive psychology. जिन्होंने मनोविज्ञान के ऊपर कुछ काम किया होगा उन्हें ये जरूर familiar होगा. But I am using it for a different reason here. I am saying that there are a couple of stories which will help us understand the advantage of cross-curricular integration for solving life's problems. तो एक सर्जन था, उसके पास एक मरीज आया, and this patient had a brain tumor or some tumor and it was very serious और उसको खत्म करना बहुत जरूरी था. सर्जन जानते थे that if I can send a certain ray of a certain potency to the tumor, it can be destroyed. मगर एक दुविधा थी. There was a problem. The strong radiation of this ray would also destroy a lot of other tissues on the way to the tumor. नुकसान भी हो सकता था, पेशेंट की कुछ और भी तकलीफें बढ़ सकती थी. Now the surgeon began to think, how do I solve this problem? And I am asking you, how do you think the surgeon can solve a problem where he needs to get a certain intensity of a ray, radiation, to the tumor, but sending one ray, a strong ray, is going to destroy certain other things? Keep thinking. आपको कुछ ख्याल आता होगा तो जरूर कमेंट सेक्शन में डालिए. Even though this is a YouTube video, it will be fun to know how were you thinking when I was narrating this. अच्छा, आप सोचते रहिए उसके बारे में. Okay. Meanwhile, here is another story. All right. Why you're thinking about the surgeon's dilemma? वैसे उस पेशेंट को बचाना है हमें. Okay. Let us listen to another story now. अब ये totally different domain है. वो तो medical world था, ये फौज है, army. one army general had to capture the fort. आप तस्वीर पे देख रहे हैं, there is a fort bang in the center, and cycle की spokes की तरह there are radial roads going out from this fort. Now again, this general knew that if he can get his whole army or his regiment to the center to capture the fort at one time, they can capture it. But एक problem था. Okay, if the soldiers started going there one by one, there were also mines, landmines समझते हैं हम, which would blow up and he would lose so many men. But दिख रहा है आपको कोई similarity? वो surgeon के जो करना है, tumor निकालना है, and this general who has to capture the fort, can you see a structural similarity? कुछ ध्यान में आ रहा है? Try to solve it. Put it in the chat, put it in the comment section. And while you are trying to solve the general's dilemma, here is yet another story. What are we trying to do? Trying to solve the problems of life by finding structural similarities amongst certain disciplines and transferring that knowledge onto another problem. Alright, so here is another story. Okay, by the way, have you solved the general's dilemma? No. What about the surgeon's problem? No. Chalo, maybe with this one we can get the answer. There was a village home which was on fire. बस आग बढ़ती जा रही थी, लपटें बढ़ती जा रही थी. Everyone was taking buckets of water and throwing it on the fire, but it just kept leaping up. ज्वालामुखी के तरह. Now, everyone knew that बहुत सारा पानी यदि इकट्ठा फेंका जाए, if we can just throw a lot of water at one go on this hut, then they may be able to douse the fire. And a single person like this there were many single persons. They were running and getting the water from the lake which was close by and throwing it, but it wasn't helping. What do you think they could have done? Can you see some similarities between the problem of the surgeon, the problem of the army general, and the problem of these villagers? Critical thinking is going on right now. This is the idea of critical thinking, finding similarities and differences, finding structural similarities to solve a problem. By now, you must be pretty curious to know the solutions, right? Maybe most of you have also thought of it, and that would be great. Do write to me in a feedback that I thought of it like this and I had thought of it like that, and that might be some fun to interact with. And by the way, do like and subscribe to our channel and share forward if you find it interesting. So what happened, A lot of people came together with a lot of water. They circled that hut, filled their buckets with water, circled the hut and threw it together. Now maybe you're getting it, right? What was the dilemma? Can you get it now? Yes. What did he do? He sent his men from various roads so that there were fewer casualties and more men could reach the fort at one time. Now maybe you got rid of the tumor. I think you must have got that for sure. Okay. No? Here it is, Viola. Many smaller rays of smaller intensity, but hitting the tumor at one go would resolve this problem of no damage to other tissues. This is the beauty of what is known as analogous knowledge. Analogous knowledge which is similar, which can help in problem solving. Now there can be no real doubt really that borrowing and transferring concepts, theories and methods between the disciplines that the students go through in school as well as in college can generate new as well as interdisciplinary knowledge. और इसी से जिंदगी की कठिनाइयां and problems का हल हमें मिलता है by transferring our ideas of one discipline to the other. Therefore, what the NEP 2020 and NCF is saying that we must teach our students to recognize these conceptual and structural similarities. इनको ढूंढना हम उन्हें सिखाएं इस तरह से जिस तरह से मैंने ये stories आपको बताई. Because it's not just we're not supposed to play lip service. हाँ, we're doing interdisciplinary. माने क्या कर रहे हैं हम? Alright. So from multiple domains, through project-based work, through project-based learning, can we bring them to see what is common deep down, though it looks very different on the surface. And this is also known as a healthy contamination of several disciplines and subjects. This is the way to develop critical thinking, leading to problem solving. We have more episodes coming up for you on critical thinking in the classroom. How do you take it forward in several different subjects? And each episode will talk of one or two. So stay with us, keep watching, and of course, please subscribe, please share forward, and do press the bell icon for regular updates. Thank you for watching.